Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Invitational on April 26th. I am Chris, of course.
And I am Grandpaws. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Uh, we're here tonight to talk about not those pony cards, but the old ones.
Oh, are we? Dang. All right, never mind. I'm out later.
Yeah, I know this isn't exactly the biggest news in the community right now, but this tournament is still going on, and we still got a lower bracket to decide and a grand final to decide.
Yes, we do. And spoiler alert, you're probably going to see significantly more interesting interactions in these games than you will in the other pony cards. But that's okay. We love the mechanical complexity and the challenge that deck building with these ban list restrictions has, and that's why the Invitationals is something that players look forward to year after year.
Indeed.
And we are marching towards the end of the Invitationals. Not there yet.
Still a couple weeks to go. We had our gap week last week, thanks to BABSCon, which I hear went very well.
It did.
And yeah, we have Bugle, Bigcheese, Hithrock, and Pancake all left. Something interesting that was pointed out to me during the filming of this match is that because all of the people left in the lower bracket lost to Pancake in the upper bracket, our grand finals is guaranteed to be a rematch.
Interesting. Hmm. Could this be the year? Can Pancake do it twice
We shall see.
against whichever opponent he has?
I mean, he's certainly in wonderful form at the moment.
I mean, if you really want an excellent case study on how to support an archetype with a designer card that you win, and then also encourage the rules committee to then ban that same designer card later, like look no further, right?
Fair enough.
No,
But
we wouldn't do that probably.
but he's not here tonight.
No, it's
Tonight,
not.
Bugle and Bigcheese. Uh,
Titans in their own right, multi-title continental champions for North America.
yeah.
What do we have?
Well, so we are starting off with core, and neither player deviates from their sort of, I think, has been their established strategy so far. She's starting off with Shining Armor in core. Bugle's starting off with Zip.
All right. Who do you want to take a look at first?
Let's take a look at Bugle's deck first.
Okay.
So, um, in this case, Bugle is playing the slower deck. Shining Armor we expect to be the aggro, so this is a bit more control farm on the purple side, which the deck is absolutely capable of doing that.
Right. Not necessarily control in the traditional sense of a high number of disruptive events. Although I guess kind of it is, right? You've got worn out, you've got changed, you've got mayonnaise and spider surprise. So yeah, okay, it is doing traditional purple control-ish things.
And if you've got a couple of Tempest Shadows out, then count all the immediate ones.
Right.
Although, admittedly, movement-based control is one of the less effective things against Shining Armor.
Absolutely.
There's all kinds of immediate speed movement in that deck.
Immediate speed and sheep movement and multi-character movement as well. But Zip does have one key advantage that I think we're starting to see resonate with players in the community. And that is that whole section of the rightmost column of the main deck the red ones, the troublemakers.
Quite a few of them.
Because with Zip's built-in ability to play cards that are flipped and flip an additional card and give it innate power, Zip has strong farming potential even without the typical suite of supporting cards you would expect. Don't get me wrong, she's still running some of those consolation prizes still in there. Obviously, same day delivery is a decent option as well. But the fact that Shining Armor is choosing not to run any troublemakers in the current deck version means that decks like Zip or decks like well, if we go into, adventure, then we're talking about like Rainbow Dash Farm, for example, have the option to be able to play cards and advance their board position to, try to move towards a game-ending state without giving Shining Armor the ability to flip.
Right. Because he does require your opponent has to play a card that is something you have in hand.
Correct. And Shining Armor decks are generally built to have a relatively even spread of friends, events, and resources to give them plenty of opportunities against the wide majority of the field to flip on an early turn. But that doesn't always extend to farm. Not every type of farm, anyway. So, since players have shown a complete apathy when it comes to playing many of the orange cards, which would otherwise host Shining Armor, at least there's this method to potentially stall them out. Rather than try to take away his boosted abilities, just never let him gain them in the first place.
True. Yeah. And I think we'll see if we, I guess, kind of want to switch over to Cheese's deck.
Sure.
In that hypothetical world where Shining Armor doesn't flip, there's actually not a lot going on here.
That's the tricky thing to look at, right? Shining in Cheese's deck is starting with Finding Your Magic. And this means that of the cards that Shining would be able to play early, he would be looking at Rex, Ray of Hope, which does nothing, and Rushed Makeover. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm taking a look to see if there's anything else, but every other card there is going to have additional play requirements.
I guess in principle, you could play Message from the Past, but that doesn't do anything.
Right. Nothing meaningful, right? So, if Cheese finds himself in this situation, and Bugle is one of those players that has shown a proclivity towards dramatically altering his own deck's playstyle to capitalize on the weakness of an opposing main. You see this quite a bit in Adventure, going up against like Changeling Pretender, for example. Many times just flat out refusing to flip a main just to deny the opponent the ability and the secondary color, banking on the fact that they have relied on their opponent to get them over that starting point. So I would not be surprised to see him try something like that here.
For sure.
And that means that Cheese's best bet is to have, if I'm counting this correctly, at least one copy of one of two cards present in the deck, and then another copy of one of three cards present in the deck to be able to do, well, anything.
Sounds like it could be a short game.
It certainly could. Meanwhile, Zip's over there applying pressure with troublemakers. Again, all speculative, right? But knowing how these players have run these decks in the past, each of them are going to be playing to their outs. And sometimes that means taking a wildly different approach to how you would normally approach a game.
I mean, you provided some great example of that in your play against Ithrock's Mill deck.
It can get weird sometimes.
I am going to just before we jump into the game, just as a gift to you, I'm going to point out that I do know there are going to be some mistakes in the rules coming up.
Okay.
There's two moderate severity ones and two minor ones. The minor ones somewhat ironically cancel each other out and actually end up in the proper game state.
Okay. Well, that's beneficial. I will see if I can catch these.
Okay.
I appreciate the heads up.
Let's get to it then.
All right.
I got a 3.
4.
4 is indeed
Okay.
more than 3,
I'll
so
go first.
You'll go first.
Easy choice to go first.
yeah, I think so here. Just getting the advantage to try to take action before your opponent can. All right, starting hand here for cheese, not great. The royal score and disruption is not that good early on, and he only had 2 card types. So even if Bugle chose to play a variety of cards, if he chose to play a resource, he wouldn't have had any option. Now that looks a little bit better.
Options over there for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bugle kept.
Thank you. Good luck, cheese.
Yeah, good luck to you too. Okay. I'm ready to go then.
All right, so looking over on Beagle's side, we got 2 worn outs, 2 copies of Zip, a Clean Chrysalis, and a T-Rex. So
And
no
I'm
actual farming potential from Zip right now, but he can force
I'm
Cheese
gonna gain
into a
3 and also
face-off
pass.
if Cheese commits to a particular problem, thanks to Lord T-Rex.
Right.
Though
Pay 2,
not much to
draw
be
a
gained
card.
on that right now.
Pay 2 for you. And pay 2.
Okay, so
for
Cheese comes
you,
out strong with Rex and Ocellus.
who triggers training.
Just a training
Okay.
trigger right away. And he has a message to work with it too.
Yes, he does.
Do that.
Sure.
Pretty valuable. Now, this is a little bit
then go
greedy,
to score
just
phase
because he
and
knows
draw
Bugle is going to be
Okay.
running.
pass turn.
Villains and epics, yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Gain
But with
2,
Grogar
draw
banned from
card for
Invitational, there's
turn.
1 less villain in core right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Bugle
Hmm.
has a bit of, well, he doesn't have any epics, which is like what he wants most of all. A way to flip his main.
Right.
Pay 1 to draw.
Kind of a dead draw here. It is nice having the 2 worn outs, since those are cards that would, in theory, be playable before Zip has flipped. Though, of course, that would give Cheese an option to discard an event. And now that Bugle knows
and
Cheese has
turn
messages in his
discard.
hand, he's
Go
very
ahead.
unlikely to ever do that.
Right.
Gain 2. Draw a card.
Did not happen to catch Bugle's full sideboard. I am assuming he did not actually remove any epics from his deck.
Sorry, yeah. Let me just quickly check.
I'll go to score phase.
Yep.
For 1.
Bugle sideboard was 3 Flurry Hearts and 2 restricted sections.
3.
Okay.
Draw card for turn. Draw card. Draw card. Oh no. Draw card. Yeah, sure, I'll go one
Go
further.
one more. Okay, well, it's a villain, but
It's a villain, but not an epic, yeah.
I should have thought
something.
of that. Okay, we're gonna pay 1 for a troublemaker. And pay 1
Interestingly, I think
troublemaker. And then we get to discard 3 cards. Isn't
I
that
think if
fun?
Chrysalis was at Finding Your Magic, Bugle could confront it.
taking a look with that being a dragon and a changeling, he'd be a little short.
Well, Oh, is it only friends?
Oh no, because Shining is then Unicorn and Royalty, isn't he? So yes, you're right. That's all opposing characters,
ahead.
not just traits among opposing characters here, right?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Game 3. Draw a card.
But then, of course, he would not
Go to score phase.
Yeah,
have
right.
the ability of.
And confront for 1.
Although he could have played them both to the same
Okay.
problem.
Pass
I guess
turn.
it's a matter of how much does he value
Gain
keeping
3.
troublemaker
Draw
walls
card,
up at both
turn.
problems
You're
versus
kidding me.
Sure.
Troublemaker
having an
saves.
aggressive
Uncover,
position,
uncover.
right? So
Yeah. Well, yeah. If they're frightened, then he can't confront it anyway. Since they lose their
Understand
traits.
pass.
also a good point.
Okay. Game.
Boy, I'm
Draw
gonna have to
card.
do a hypergeometric on this here. How many cards has he drawn so far? It's been quite a
This-
few.
It's been quite a few.
This turn.
Okay. Discard. Get it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
3. Draw card. Well, that's funny. Pay 1 for a troublemaker.
Might as well do that. Have
Pay
a
2 to
safer
live.
bet with your
Go ahead.
troublemaker there. Bring it down from 1 bonus to 0 bonus.
Mm-hmm. Cheese will almost certainly expect this to
Go
be an
ahead.
epic too.
Yep.
Since he moved
I
his
was
main into it.
looking.
True.
sorry.
Now, I cannot recall, does Cool Mares
Draw
function
card.
universally or is it location restricted?
Roll.
It's universal.
Go to end of
It
turn.
is universal. Okay, so
Okay.
actually, this has no real
Discard
bearing on
that
it then,
and discard that.
Okay.
other than the fact
Pass
that
turn.
now Bugle has a means of being able to
Alright.
score points.
3.
Right.
Draw card. No, I'm bluffing.
Roll. So mean.
Now, of course, this does prove somewhat awkward for Cheese
Pay
because
1. Pay 1.
what are you going to do
Pay 1.
to try to break through this
Here we
wall,
go.
given that you're limited significantly
Maybe
in
it's not a
terms
bluff
of
this time.
which cards you can actually play, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's stuck in mono purple right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ray is only your main character, right?
It is only your main character, correct?
So yeah. That's pretty much
Let's,
just the Rex in his hand then.
Discard. 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 Go ahead.
The Bugle did find his epic.
Yes, he did.
Draw card.
So we might see something happening here.
I'm gonna pay 1 to draw.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
And Cheese has just been banking AT,
Um.
so he's not exactly hurting for options of cards to play right now if he can find a means to play them.
Let's pay 2 for Rex.
Okay.
We'll discard. Or sorry, going to end of turn. That and that.
Starting Gabby, sure,
turn.
makes sense. I
Okay.
think Cheese has realized it's unlikely
3.
that Beagle's going to give him an
Draw card
opportunity
for
to
turn. Uncover.
get value out of his Ray of Hope. at
I'll
least for
choose all
some
my
period
stuff.
of
You'll
time.
choose all your stuff, I assume.
Yep.
Challenge.
Okay.
Flip.
Okay.
Tie. Flip again.
1 sec.
Oh, sure.
He's just taking a look, making sure he understands how Zip's ability works.
Okay.
I remember there is an interesting little interaction that comes up here.
Yeah.
I'm up by 3.
Yep.
Okay. 2 points.
All right, so Bugle manages to get on the board here, but that
Actually,
problem
hold on.
is now
Before
open
that,
again, and Bugle does not have a follow-up
due to the
epic
Gallus
to be able
window,
to
I should be able to
use.
play Nightmare Moon, then flip a card that doesn't matter literally at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, using Zip in the Gallus window, I
Okay.
hadn't thought of before, but I'm pretty sure that works.
Does
right?
work. Yeah, Should work
Those
fine.
will go to the bottom.
So that's convenient now that there is the other
And
epic.
I'll
I
discard
spoke
a
too
card.
soon,
Go
apparently.
ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, screenshot that.
Game 3.
You just saw someone discard a Tranquility rather than play it.
I was gonna say.
1 draw. Pay 1 draw.
She's digging, going
One
deep,
more.
seeing what he can find.
Okay. And 1 more. There we go.
Okay. Well, there's a rushed. And now I think
Pay
we're going to see
1
things
for
happen.
rushed makeover into blue on Rex.
Okay.
Nothing for this.
Okay.
Okay, so he's definitely going to be setting up to try to push
Then
Bugle
pay
off of the problems then.
2.
You have enough? I mean, got so much AT. Surely he can TF, right?
He should be able to. Between Daybreakers and Galluses and Gabby, GG's in here as well for extra point acceleration.
Then pay 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure, Gallus going up here makes
I need to
sense.
figure out where to put it.
But
Sure.
where is the question?
I'll
I think
move
the
this here
appropriate
since
answer
I'll
is
discard
actually to play Gallus over to Finding Your Magic, as if you confront Second Agenda,
Then
The extra
the extra
discard will
discard.
give it to you. Yeah.
Discard 2.
yeah, exactly, and it looks like she sees that, so draw 2, discard 2, discarding
We'll
message and
discard
something else.
You.
Sure,
You.
message and GG makes sense.
That is the first discard I've had this turn.
Now she just needs
So
to
gain
make sure he
1.
marks the power on Gallus there.
And he will get
It is a mandatory trigger, so we remind him.
2 power cards.
Not that he forgot this time. He got it this time.
Sure. Now I'm trying to remember, had he discarded any other cards so far that turn? I don't believe so, right? That was the first one?
That was the first one. And he did take his Daybreaker AT.
Yes, he did.
Then we'll pay 2
Okay.
for let's make our mark together.
Sure.
Gain 3.
I'm assuming this is just going to be move the main
Then,
then? Or move Rex? Move the main.
We will draw 3 cards and put 2 on top.
Interesting.
Okay.
Putting 2 back.
Right, put 2 on top.
Let's see.
2 on top, yes.
I mean, those are all, well, it's exception of the Izzy, I guess. They're all good cards to draw.
Right.
Then
The other Daybreaker is pretty valuable here.
I'll pay.
Did she pay
1,
for
2,
that
3.
event? He did, right?
Another Gallus?
He did, I'm pretty sure. Like, he got the 3 AT back because it was, let's make a mark together. But he did pay
Right.
for it.
Actually, it does need to go there.
Okay.
Then I will.
Did he use the?
Draw 2 and.
Yes, he's using the
discard
Traveler.
2.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Now discarding, I am assuming we'll see a Royal Scorn and a maybe a Math? Not sure. Could be an Izzy, right? Although Izzy would allow him or would prevent him from using the GGs that are in his discard pile right now, so probably not Izzy yet.
Right.
Hand's still pretty stacked, no need for Gabby, he'll recycle that back in.
Discard you.
Yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
And then that's 2 on you. 2 there.
So is he going for the triple here, maybe?
Well, there's a Troublemaker over there.
Okay.
Oh, so there is.
But yeah, he's got enough for the double right now,
will
so.
Attempt to confront Second Agenda.
Yep.
Bugle could disrupt it.
Okay. And then I will draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Then discard 2.
But
and
doing
also
so would, of course, allow
discard
Shining to
a
flip.
Yeah.
And it
non-threatening.
is apparent how much Bugle really, really doesn't want to let that happen,
Um,
given how far the game has gone at this point without any
we
disruption
will
having been played.
discard
Right. And he's still in, well,
a non-friend.
it is still a big deal. Like, despite the fact that Cheese has gotten over the
Then-
hump and
oh.
is able to do stuff now, it is still a big
Yes,
deal
with
for Shining
Invitations.
not to be flipped.
I will attempt to confront finding your magic.
Yep.
Okay.
To a point.
Face off.
I guess Bugle is obviously unaware that Cheese has the second Daybreaker in
I have
hand,
6,
but
so you
just
win the
those two
face-off.
cards
I
alone
won the
provide
face-off, and I think I
so
would
many
play more
options
than-
for
Yeah, you probably do.
Cheese to get some
5.
big value out of this.
I believe you have 2.
All right, how many
I do.
GGs do we have going away here?
Yeah.
2 of them,
I
so that's an
think
extra
I-
2 points. So that'll get him up
Yeah,
to
I
8.
think I couldn't find
lot
the
of
epic
points,
fast
yeah.
enough to.
You wanna-
This is bad.
1, 2, +1 for. the
Yep, up to
bonus.
8.
That's a strong position to be
That's a
in.
low. Okay.
Yep.
Face off over.
I mean, that was just an absolute drought
Let's go
of
to pile.
epics on Bugle's side.
Oh, good.
Right. I believe he did say in the game it was like the top. He drew through, I think, 15 cards before he found an epic,
Yes.
which is, yeah, hardly ideal.
I do still have a home limit of 3,
Every now and then it'll happen.
which
Now, of course, the tricky thing here, Cheese will have to choose which
I
of his
think
cards
needs
to
those
keep.
3.
And
Okay.
Oopsies. That date is one on the top of my deck.
I'll need to correct that. So
Yeah. He is retiring cards with a stunning expose on the field, so we will have some draws.
Okay. Do I want to draw 3 cards? That's the question here.
I would say this is somewhat greedy
I
to
think
only
I'm
be
going to
keeping the
decline
one
to draw
Daybreaker for
cards,
purple,
'cause
but
I'm-
the Galluses are large enough and
just too
Cheese
many
has the extra
resources.
Rush Makeover in his hand that
Okay.
he can easily
have
get
a
back
hand
into
limit.
purple
Yeah, you
if
do
he
have a
needs
hand
to,
limit, I
provided the
suppose
entire
that's fair.
board is not removed.
Uh,
And it is highly unlikely that the entire board is removed. Now that Cheese is in excess of his hand limit again, though, I'm sure we're going to see that Izzy come down again.
Oh, with the GG's gone. Could be, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Okay, tactical, sure. I can see valuing Beat the Rush over that.
Ready, gain 4, draw card for turn. Oh,
No, there's
I'm an
epic.
idiot. I wouldn't have discarded them. I should have drawn them.
oh yeah, because
pay,
your hand size would be
yeah, pay 1 for a troublemaker.
16 or whatever.
Yeah.
Bugle opt not to use the Stunning Expose
Oh,
on some of the cards there.
Yes.
1 sec.
Okay.
Ah,
Well, you only had, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because Nightmare Moon hasn't
Yeah.
applied yet.
Now your hand limit is reduced, but yeah. I'm just gonna play this and pass.
I'm fairly certain that
Okay.
Cheese is about to snipe this Nightmare here,
Game 7.
given the double Beat the Rush in hand.
Draw a card.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big Galluses sure would work.
That's going to be 10 versus 6. Even with the +3, he's either going to force Bugle to play a card allowing him to finally flip his Shining, which of course will be that much worse because then Shining can just move up and get involved in the face-off.
No, he's gone to main phase.
Ah, interesting.
Pay
He's just taking his time.
2 for another Daybreaker.
Yep. Makes sense.
Then pay 3 for another Gallus.
Ooh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
oh, and the message should have been there from earlier, so
Yeah.
that would have been one of
Oh,
them.
you forgot to get this back.
Oh,
earlier,
actually,
by the way.
yes, that's
So
true.
you just want
I
to
will
discard 2 of
both
them. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I looked at it and was like, I need to back my hand, and then I was like, oh, my hand's over hand limit. Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot to go back.
Don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and then 2 action tokens.
Yep.
a lot of power counters.
Oof.
And I guess
So we're looking at 8, 11,
that's kind of useless. in my
14,
hand.
16 power currently, and a discard outlet now.
Oh, you're playing Thunderflap. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just paying 1 play him.
And that's
go
going to
end of
give, of course,
Mhm.
Cheese the option to gain Daybreaker
Get
AT
rid
on
of-
Bugle's turn now.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
And then
I suppose he's just going to discard the Izzy then? He's really holding on to the Izzy. I mean,
pass turn.
all the better for him.
Trying
He's
to
getting
get
more
a
cards that'll
whole
be
bunch of
recycled in
counters.
there. He can also just discard a
Oh,
message
because I
too, so
discarded 3 cards.
there's
Yes,
technically
bring,
not a reason to go for the
game
Izzy
4,
yet, apart from
draw
the fact
card,
that Bugle is running
uncover
Spirit Siphon in his
Troublemaker.
deck. But again, that's a card to be played, so if you've gone this far, you
I
have to assume
unfortunately
that this is
have
what
to
the
start
board is
playing
going to
the
look
game,
like. Your main's
whether I
not
want
having
to or not.
abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at some point,
I'm gonna play
yeah.
a friend.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
And so the question is, does Cheese take advantage of this to discard a friend?
The friend is fine.
Interesting.
Nothing. Interesting.
That's pretty valid, I suppose. I'm gonna play a resource.
Resource is also
And Cheese can do about that yet.
We'll pay 1 for a Troublemaker here. And go to score phase, confront for 1.
That was an Opaline. Opaline, admittedly, pretty good against a board with a
Go
giant
ahead.
pile of Galluses.
Does
Opaline's not
what's the
bad.
next confront?
Well,
Oh, okay.
worse when
You have
there already is an
many
11
great
power one on the field.
Sure, but the
Okay.
11 power one is at Opaline's location,
okay.
so
Yeah, fair.
Gain 4.
Yep.
And draw a card for turn.
Yep.
Let's challenge Nightmare Moon.
Okay.
bunches of power. Now Bugle can play the Spider Surprise to get rid of the largest Gallus right
yep,
now.
You got it. I'm not.
But decides
Actually,
not to.
let's exhaust this first. Okay, you got it.
Now I think you have to play the Tranquility, right?
Okay.
Is he not?
Guess
Two
not.
cards for you.
That beats
Interesting.
I think he's still committed to not flipping Shining Armor.
Pay 2
Possibly.
Maybe so, yeah.
to play Beat the Rush.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
I will challenge.
I mean, that does make sense here. It gives him an opportunity to break through
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis's wall and
Okay.
moves the Gallus out of harm's way from the Epic that is coming down over there to protect against a possible Frighten.
Okay, so I have 10. You have 11. You have a lot. Okay, you got Chrysalis too.
Won't be able to
I
confront.
will
People would, of course, fight and zip rather
confront
than I go
alternate
through.
solutions. Or I'll
Okay.
go score phase, then attempt to
Though it
confront
won't matter
alternative
anyway,
solutions.
because Cheese is just going to go for double
I
at
will attempt to confront
alternative solution.
Okay,
Right.
that's fine.
Then I will discard a message from the past.
Okay,
Move this over here,
okay,
which gets me 2 action tokens.
sure.
Makes the Gauss bigger.
Okay.
It will frighten Thunderflap
End
at
of
the end of the
turn.
turn.
You get frightened. And hand limit.
Well, he
Okay.
doesn't have to discard anymore. There's
Now
no
you
more
get
nightmare,
another
so
counter.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one of our mistakes.
5.
We have already got through
Yeah.
the other one.
Oh.
So
Draw,
yeah, there was a
cover, frighten.
discard earlier in the game that Cheese didn't update his Galluses for. That was the first one.
Okay.
And then this extra discard corrected all the Galluses. So those are the two that canceled each other out.
Animoy says they never noticed the vexing persistent synergy. That is the key with Zip there as well. If you don't
One
apply
for
pressure, then she's getting meticulous value. If you do apply pressure, then your opponent is able to prevent a confront per turn for 2 AT, effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Pass turn.
Okay.
It's a weird selection of keywords, but it works for
I
a reason.
will gain 5.
Yep.
I will draw a card.
All right, so
I'm
Cheese
committed to the
finds
bit at this
himself
point.
What is
without
the bit?
another Beat
Not
the
flipping
Rush.
your main.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to win regardless at this point. I think I lost the 90-10.
I don't think there's anything he can do about Opaline right
Yeah.
now.
which is unfortunate.
Which
Sorry, I pinged to
Mhm.
With Gallus? Yeah,
move up.
sure.
Okay.
Because the other Gallus
Okay,
is more
here
than
we
large
go.
enough to be confronting,
Okay.
or at least force Sip to use
I
the
guess
persistent.
I'll pay 2 to banish your resource.
Sure.
Consolation prize gone.
Score phase.
Okay.
I will attempt to confront stunning expose.
I'll
Okay.
frighten.
All right, so no more meticulous.
And I will.
Is he doing it again?
Hold on. No. Before you go to discard.
Sorry, yeah, I'll go to
Why
end
is
of
he
turn.
trying to discard?
Yeah, we're going to play an event and move Gallus over here. Or the 12th. This one, I
Okay.
suppose. Yeah.
Sure. Okay, well, when you play, I
Yeah.
will discard the flip.
Yep.
Okay, so now Shining's online.
And the power counters are mandatory.
Correct.
So
Are you
she's
paying
choosing
for
not to
none
pay.
of them?
I think
Well,
he does think
Is he
about
aware that
for
it's
one of
not?
them.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll pay for that one. Sure.
Okay, sure.
Sounds good.
But yeah, Cheese was gonna discard. They kind of forgot that Nightmare Moon wasn't there anymore.
You did have to discard another card, but I'm
Did I?
Oh no, you did not. That's
There's
right.
no might number.
Both of them forgot Nightmare wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. Gain 5.
All right, a
Draw
lot of
card
AT,
for turn.
and now the gloves are
Uncover,
off.
frighten.
Now Bugle will use every trick in his book to try to stop Cheese's ability to push through for these last 3
I
points.
no longer have the luxury.
He's
of,
got a
time.
Tempest. Got one worn out.
It's arguable if I even had it in the first place.
He's not helpless. And I guess got that off AT. You can mayonnaise that big Gallus.
For Tempest here.
True.
Yep, you got prepared.
2 to rally.
You changed the big Gallus.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I suppose changed is pretty safe here simply because the friend will enter at home.
1 for changed on your Gallus.
Okay, dismiss. Reveals cards. Reveal a friend. Different name. Put the friend into play at their home. Then
Well, there's no possible way to reveal another Gallus, so the first friend revealed will be the thing Cheese gets. There it is.
Well, it is a Gallus, but not that Gallus.
Okay, fair.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm sure Bugle's debating the mayonnaise on Daybreaker here.
4 for a friend.
Okay.
Proceed to score phase.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Confront for 1, pass turn.
Okay.
Does Cheese want to discard a card on his turn? No.
Draw for turn.
Does Cheese want to try and fight?
I mean, there's a prepared over at Expose.
There is. This is true.
Challenge Maniac.
Okay. I'll
But
get
yeah,
an
Bugle
action
gain
token.
DAT.
Sure.
He can bring Gallus and his main in, potentially.
You're at 9.
So
I'm
Cheese
at 9.
can force a tie here. But that's also all he can do. No, that's not true because he can discard and move the Gallus as well. So Cheese can actually get himself up by 2 here if he chooses to. Looks like he opts not to.
Okay. I will pay 2 to play. Let's make our mark together to gain 3.
Fair enough.
Nope, 3. Thank you. To
3,
draw
yes.
3, then put 2 on top.
Okay.
And 3 discarding 2. Well, he
This
found a
is-
dilemma.
We'll pay 2.
So this is one of the big ones.
Okay.
Pay 2.
Unfrightens. King.
For
Plays
Well-
another Daybreaker. Sure.
Okay.
I
Why
mean,
not?
we forgot to have him put the 2 cards back.
Oh.
Now, in our defense
pay
there,
2 for
Cheese has like issues with
Solid.
TTS,
Okay.
and sometimes he has to disconnect and reconnect to have it
draw.
sync up, and that was what happened. He drew the 3 cards,
Okay,
disconnected,
yeah, we'll
reconnected, and when he came back, we forgot to have him put the
Makes
2 back
sense.
again.
Game 3.
He does have one of the most cursed instances of TTS I've ever seen,
and
so.
You have
She gets power, but
1
I
stack.
doubt
not
that's
that it's
Now, at this point,
relevant.
there are enough cards that in Cheese's hand that I'm sure he's not going hell-bent
this
this
time you
turn.
discarded
He
a
can
non-friend to
easily
give her power.
put additional
Yeah.
cards that he did not need back on
Then-
top of his deck.
Let's
Right.
pay 1 for Ray of Hope.
Was this caught at any
Okay.
point in the game, or
Yeah.
was it caught later in the recording?
Sure.
It was caught later. The
1,
issue is he had the like
Oh,
he's had the
okay.
Ocellus
Oh,
training
that's
trigger
fine.
now go off,
Sure.
and so yeah, it's gotten very difficult to rewind properly.
Right.
Move up.
Okay.
You know what? I think at this point, I'm willing to just give you the benefit of the doubt and say that Cheese is actually the problem. So I vote we just ban Cheese from Invitationals next year. That's my personal vote.
Let's
Love you, Cheese.
score phase and then pass turn.
Okay. Get your message.
Yeah.
Gain 5, meticulous 2.
Either that, or we just buy him a new TTS.
Yeah, why not? We'll put them both on top. And then we'll meticulous 2 and
Okay,
put them both on
so
top again.
let's take a look at what has
then I'm gonna draw
actually
cards for turn.
happened here now. There's an
I'm
Ocellus,
gonna play Tranquility. I'm gonna gain 2 action
2
tokens,
Daybreakers,
because
3
despite the fact that
Daybreakers,
this
all
is
3
the
of them are
first
present here.
Tranquility I played.
Yep.
There was already one in
Gallus, 2 Galluses in
there.
play.
Then we're gonna
Man,
pay 3
Cheese
for
has just an
Tempest.
obscene amount
actually gonna
of
take it
rapid
off right
movement
now.
if he needs
sure.
to,
I'm
between
going to
shining in
give
those 2
myself
Galluses.
Yep.
Agile, that's what it's called.
Bugle
Okay.
does have
Discarding a
the
card.
equivalent of
And
3
trigger.
Warnotes in
Yep.
his hand, those 2 Tempests on the field,
Shuffle, discard.
He does,
but that is all in one go.
Makes sense.
and Cheese's discard pile is now safe from any Spirit Siphon that Bugle could draw later,
And
so
then triggers.
if the
1,
game
2,
does go
3,
long,
and then
Yeah. If Bugle can land that Sprouticus that's in his
5
hand right
triggers.
now, that would be pretty huge.
that'd be pretty good.
Actually 6 triggers.
No, she does not trigger.
Oh, because
Non-friend.
non-friend.
Discarded a friend.
Yeah. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bare knuckle scrape. See if we can pull it out from here.
I think we're gonna go ahead and pay 3 and banish this Daybreaker.
Is it Bugle's turn right now?
And I'm gonna go
It
to
is,
score
yes.
phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, confront for 1.
We're not having
Pass
that
turn.
mayonnaise mistake again.
Okay.
Gain 5.
Yep.
I guess
Draw
Bugle
for
or
turn,
Cheese was just discarding to end a turn or to hand.
and
Yeah. There was an interesting little tidbit pointed out
shall-
about mayonnaise, I think, here, which
Okay,
is
I'll
that
gain 2 action tokens.
in principle, both players can pay the extra 2 if they want to.
Correct.
Usually you wouldn't want to, unless you really wanted to get rid of some AT.
I'm at a
Correct.
total of 8.
I'm at 11.
But that's actually designed specifically that way so that your opponent does not just have a 1AT interdimensional portal on their own friends
I
in
think
at
I
main
would
phase
like
timing.
to.
Right, of course.
Well, I'll exhaust
that is
and
why that
choose
clause is there,
Tempest.
because IDP at
Now
immediate
you have
speed is
priority
already really good for
between
2. IDP
being
at
able to
main
play
phase for
Tempest.
Yeah,
half the
that's
cost
fine.
is
Okay.
there needs to be another
I'm gonna play
check to that.
Tempest here, I think, and then flip an additional card. Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
he flips the mayonnaise.
Is that enough to... That makes me start doing some
So-
math here.
So
You
he's
have
at
a
4, 7,
6 power.
10, 13. Oh,
So
but
I'm at
yes,
11,
that's 6. So
which
16.
is what you said your total was as well, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Let's
8, 9,
banish
10, 11.
Ocellus until the end of the face-off.
Banishing Ocellus makes sense.
So now I'm at 11 to your 9.
Jeez, you can get Shining in, but that's about it.
Sure.
He can get Shining in,
Let's
which will put him up to 14 if he uses the competitive as
discard.
well.
Okay,
Which is the first discard this turn.
correct.
We'll spend those two. Sorry, to give Agile.
Okay,
We'll then spend those two
to just move up immediately. Okay,
which puts me at 12.
you are now 1 above, yes.
Yeah.
Does
Okay.
Cheese play the, or does Bugle play the Worn Out now?
I think he has to.
You win the face-off.
Oh,
Nope.
I stand corrected.
I mean,
They're
it's
both
a
the same
0 bonus
number,
problem,
Yeah, I
so
know.
technically he can let this slide. Although, of
what did
course,
I-
the tricky thing now is
Oh, no, I moved that to
Cheese
the-
can
okay.
use the
You
Agile
go to the
again
bottom.
on Shining over to Opaline if he really
Ocellus
wants
can
to.
appear at home.
Let's see if Cheese takes advantage of that.
Let's
The 8 versus, yeah, it'd be a fair flip.
pay one to draw.
Okay.
Looks like no.
Pay one.
So drawing up, refilling the hand a little bit.
Pay another one.
Okay, well, Gallus is a strong draw.
Pay another one. I would like to have the actual card I need. Close enough.
Okay, Tactical's pretty good.
Um,
As Cheese can
Pay
push
one.
for one more point here.
for second agenda.
I think he's pushing for more than one.
Let's
Yeah, that's fair.
discard. Yeah,
Discarding
let's
Royal Scoring,
discard
paying 1,
Royal
frightening
Scorn
Zip.
Okay.
to give, because I already have Agile, so we'll give Swift.
Mm-hmm.
And I have already discarded, so those don't trigger. Ocellus does trigger. And I will pay the 1
Okay.
to frighten Zip.
Zip. Okay.
So yeah, that gets him to potentially able the DFO.
Yep, he's definitely going to be forcing the
I'll
Worn Out here,
pay
and the Tempests, more likely than not.
1 to move Daybreaker.
Okay.
Sure.
I think Bugle's going to be able to deny it though
Um,
between those Oh yeah, he's definitely got the power for it. So
I will
I guess he could try to frighten one of the Tempests as well,
move to score phase
but that's a little greedy.
Okay.
and attempt to confront stunning expose.
Okay. We're gonna pay 1 for Worn Out.
This was always happening.
We are going
for sure.
to move Daybreaker home. And we're also going to move Daybreaker, Gallus, and Gallus home.
Okay.
Don't think Cheese has any. Oh, he does. He does have
think
other
that's
immediate
still
speed
fine.
movement, but is it enough?
Okay, this is the stupid way. Tactical maneuvers.
It's close. Oh, Thunderflap.
Thunderflap. Who
Okay.
needs
What
to
a
move
play.
To, he needs to move to
Yeah.
I forgot about the Thunderflap.
So
Yeah, that can be as much as it needs to be.
Yeah, okay. You win. I
use
see
those
the line. You
to
just...
confront there and then one
Yeah.
more to confront the other one.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. GG.
Wow.
Good game.
Complex line to get through the end, but he got there.
No kidding. Yeah, he did. Shining still putting up pretty spectacular results, even in the face of the opponent saying, I don't really want to face that.
Yeah, as Bugle pointed out, it is like luck was on Cheese's side. He had the cards he needed to get through that sort of tricky play. But luck's part of the game.
That's right. Let's see if luck is part of game 2.
Sure. Again, in an adventure, neither party deviating from their sort of regular strategy. Cheese leading out with Twilight Mill, Bugle with Lyra.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to put the Mill deck up here first. I feel like I want to give you a chance to maybe talk a little bit about this deck, because every time it shows up on the Invitationals, on these streams, we say, oh, it's the Mill deck again, everyone knows how this works, and don't really give it much time of day. But, like, it's not a simple deck. It's not like something you play on autopilot. There is complexity there, right?
There is. So let's talk a little bit about the two main paths that Mill has. The first one is in the actual advancement of its win condition, which is through removing cards from the opponent's deck. And this is primarily accomplished with song synergies that are present in the deck alongside Rockdorths, right? There are some Sweetie Bells there as well that Cheese chooses to leave in this case. But overall, you're going to be relying on Raise This Barn alongside the Rockdorths and I'm the Friend You Need. And this is a line of play that is best performed when your board is already set up and the opponent's board is not presenting significant major threats. However, the same song engine that allows the repeated disruption of the opponent's deck can also be used to disrupt the opponent's board as well. I'm the Friend You Need will banish any friend. The Spectacle will effectively napcakes an opposing friend. Blank Flanks Forever serves as another means of copying one of those relevant events. And if you're leaning more into the control side of these songs, where you're using verses that are not built around advancing the mill win condition, and you're instead trying to disrupt the opponent's board, the other part that is equally important to disrupt is the opponent's hand. The number of ways this deck has to interact with cards that actually make it into play are very few and far between. Let's take a look at them. 1 School Shutdown. 3 copies of Luna's Future, which can either temporarily banish a friend if you need to, or banish resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 3 copies of I'm the Friend You Need, and depending on when they're played, the 2 copies of Blank Flanks Forever, and if the opponent has small enough friends, the Spectacle. So you're putting small friends on top of the opponent's decks. You get a little bit of banishment out of big threats that happen to make it into play. If you sequence stuff correctly, Blank Flanks offers redundancy, and you have a little bit of resource removal alongside the 1 board wipe.
Right. But using all that effectively is not easy.
It's not. You've got multiple colors that are there that you're having to deal with, right? You've got the fact that your friends are not offering you a whole lot in terms of your color entry. You've got Sweetie Belle and Octavia for white, and Sweetie Belle and Coriander for orange, and that's it, because Applejack Factory Organizer is banned in Invitationals this year. So you can't rely on having your orange at every time. So instead, the better option, especially because all of that removal is main phase timing, is to be preventing the cards from hitting play to begin with. And that's kind of the whole point of Mill. If you remove all of your opponent's deck, not just part of it, but all of it, then all the resources you spent into doing that are resources you don't have to spend in clearing the opponent's board or slowing them down. If you remove all of the cards in an opponent's hand, they're going to have to dedicate that many resources to refilling their hand to be able to establish a board presence again. So Heartstrong as Horses, ripping 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. Coriander Cumin, naming a card and taking all copies of it, right? Luna's Future, doubling up on Coriander Cumin here. Scrying Vessel, giving you complete knowledge of the opponent's hand and potentially also being copyable with Blank Flanks Forever.
Scrying Vessel. I was going to say, Scrying Vessel's been a real outstanding card for me this tournament so far. Seems like it's done a lot of work.
Absolutely. Scrying Vessel is a spectacular card. Pinky did a great job in designing that or suggesting that as one of the cards to be included in the prize wheel. And it has given purple control or combo decks an option to check to see if it's safe to go off, in addition to sculpting their play around it. Now, of course, the problem you can run into here is if you get this cycle going where you can bring your songs back again and again or get double value on them, but it's not really doing anything. We saw that happen in Cheese's last game here on Invitationals. Maybe the last one. Maybe it was the one before that.
I think it was the last one. His game against Tom would have been the last one that we saw.
Okay.
Or no.
Sorry,
that was the last one in the lower bracket. The last one we saw on stream would have been against Pancake.
Right, so it was the one against Pancake.
Okay.
It's incredibly flashy. It's very, very showy, but it doesn't do anything. You need to be getting value out of that at an important point in time, either using it to advance towards your win condition or using it to deny the opponent's resources. Ultimately, that's what Mill is. It is a resource denial deck. It's just doing so by denying your opponent resources that will come in the future, or forcing them to use the resources they already have to replenish their future options.
Well said.
There's my TED Talk.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's go over to Bugle's deck.
Sure. Speaking of decks that can be incredibly flashy and also run into the same type of trap, we saw the exact same thing happen in Bugle's game against, I think it was Pancake as well.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about some of the value engines that are present in Orange and Pink. It's so synergistic. Haven Bay, right? Alongside Rockhoof Shovel, alongside Pirate Ship, alongside Applejack, Apple Bloom Remarkable with 3 Message from the Past in there. You can see how these cards work together almost in a Shining Armor-esque way, where one action you take has numerous triggered consequences afterwards that all make you feel that much stronger. And again, it's one of those cases where you need the right value at the right time. Just because you have the engine doesn't necessarily mean it's getting you anywhere. So when to play your key disruptive cards, when to play your big threats, when to try to answer opposing cards, and when you need to be holding back and knowing if you want to bank up and go for a big DFO instead of just going for incremental point value, that's going to be important.
For sure. Yeah.
Of course, Bugle does have the advantage here of having immediate speed interaction between Melted Expectations, Bailout, and Midnight Snack, none of which Cheese has anything capable of doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while Cheese's deck may present high confront requirements on a number of the problems, Bugle's technically got the dilemmas in there, but he's saying he probably doesn't need them in this case.
Yeah. He's explicitly boarding them out, yes. I have put the Flower Ponies in there, Daisy, Lily, and Roseluck. Mill deck does actually exhaust a lot of stuff. In particular, the Rock Turrets. Trixie also comes to mind.
Starlight Glimmer, yep, that's in there too.
Yeah. So it is... one of those out early is actually a pretty good attack.
Yeah, I think all the cards you have listed here are great. You could make the argument that maybe Rockhoof Shovel is equally interesting as Pirate Ship. You could make the argument that maybe Apple Bloom Remarkable is also interesting as well, though since Cheese is likely to be disrupting Bugle's hand somewhat, Apple Bloom may find herself somewhat limited. I might actually make the argument that Message from the Past is perhaps one of the most important cards in this matchup, as it is effectively free repeated discard both for Apple Bloom and for Heartstrongest Horse's disruption.
Yeah, that's a pretty good point. Like, given the whole spiel we just went on about how much Bill wants to attack your hand, having, like, Melted Expectations, sorry, not Melted, Message from the Past is effectively hand protection.
Yep.
And that's, pretty important.
So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, let's... any objections from you to moving on?
No, let's get to it.
Game 2.
think I'm gonna mulligan this.
It was earlier in the recording. Bugle did choose to go first.
Okay.
Okay, strong hands from both players here.
You good?
I'm going to mull.
Okay.
Well, Cheese wants more.
Interesting. I wonder what he's looking for. Maybe he's just opting for Rock to Ritz early. His hand was completely playable. And now you get a little punished.
Yeah. Twice, and
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
realize that I'm not trying to twist the knife when I say this.
One
But
for
Twilight has not been the most
Apple.
cooperative main this invitational.
exhaust, discard.
No,
panic
she has
message.
not.
Two. I'll take your technique. One for shovel. Exhaust. Counter on Apple Bloom. So what else am I gonna do with it? Go ahead.
Do you think it's
Okay.
because we all just keep ignoring her message from the past?
3.
That could very well be the
1
case.
for tranquility.
Let's see how this shapes out for Cheese here. Okay, well, he didn't get another
Pass turn.
duplicate, so that's
Okay.
something.
2. Ready.
It would be rather
Draw
amusing to
card.
play blanks there,
No.
but
Oh, that's not what I
probably
wanted.
not desirable.
Right, to get a copy of Apple Bloom and discard your duplicate. Or
Yeah,
counter on Apple
that
Bloom.
would work actually very smoothly. I actually didn't see that line. Well done.
This is so weird.
That
Pass turn.
That would have actually been a spectacular play.
Okay. Gain 2. Draw a card.
Oh, doesn't work now.
Nope.
Pass turn.
Okay. Ready. Gain 2. Draw card for turn.
I think this is
Exhaust, counter
something that
on
I kind of
Apple
fell prey
Bloom.
to
1,
is
2,
when you
3,
have
4,
an early hand
garble.
where you're not able
Go
to
to
flip
score
twice.
phase.
You may
Yep.
feel the need to
Confront.
Sure.
Flips.
pay to draw to fill up your hand to
You discard a card.
find yourself in a position where you can discard at end of turn to more easily flip twice on the next turn. But those are resources that you need later to capitalize on the dead time early on.
Problems.
This is kind of interesting in that Bugle playing the garble early has actually somewhat helped Cheese.
Somewhat. It's still an early garble. It's still terrifying.
It is still an early garble, and Cheese did lose his color entry here.
Draw a card.
Well, I spoke too soon, so the question is, does Cheese play pay 2 here to draw to potentially discard
1, 2, 3.
one of the I'm the Friends you need?
Okay.
No, he's gonna do the Apple Bloom play.
I'll make a token copy of your Apple Bloom.
I love it. I love it.
So Cheese saw the line.
You're a genius.
No, it's pretty stupid. You know what? I like it.
Yeah, I had a small unfair advantage in guessing that's
Very
what Cheese
annoying
might
that
do.
the token.
Fair.
Now it stays on. Okay.
Yeah.
It's because
Where Apple
I
Bloom's going.
Released it when you were holding the card.
Yeah.
We're gonna bail out Apple Bloom.
Okay.
Bloom is indeed bailed out. Now, Bugle is still, well, yeah, he's still a few AT away from being able to DFO. He's 1 AT away from being able to DFO
That's
on
really
his next
stupid
turn.
that was on the table for me.
Yep. Okay. I will pass turn.
Okay. Draw. Gain 3.
Yeah, just one AT. He's got enough power.
Get that back. Whatever. Draw card for turn.
If he shovels garble.
Yeah. We'll exhaust. Discard message. Pay 3 for a second garble.
Ooh.
Put a counter on it,
Put
sure.
a counter on this garble.
Yep.
And go to score phase.
Mm-hmm.
Confront for 1. Pass turn.
Now, of course, the awkward thing here is without a means of playing
Ready.
I'm the Friend you need, Cheese is going to have to discard one of those to eventually flip.
Yep.
And they're both pretty required. Well, not required, but
they're
useful.
pretty required. Now, he can discard one, get it back with Spectacle,
Let's
so it's
pay
not the
one
end of the
for draw.
world.
Mhm.
But he also doesn't have the color entry to do so right now. Now, Blank Flanks helps a bit.
Sure. This isn't stupid at all.
Are you doing it again?
Let's do it again.
Okay.
Doing it again. Okay, another Apple Bloom.
I don't have a reaction this time, obviously.
It does fix his orange.
It fixes his orange.
Well,
It'll give him the opportunity to do this. Flip Twilight.
Now let's reveal.
Yeah, for Friend You Need. It doesn't give him enough orange for raise this one.
Correct. But now the Rush Makeover can go into white, play I'm the Friend You Need. I'm pretty sure Cheese now has the ability to deal with both of the garbles here.
Okay. That looks accurate to
Because
me.
he goes rushed into I'm the Friend You Need, which brings him down to 3. Banish one garble, Spectacle, get it back down to 2, and then I'm the Friend You Need, banish the other one, so knock them both out.
Yep.
Let's pay 1.
And also exhaust
Yep.
Y
Rush
to go up to
Makeover into
1
white.
from entrance
Sure.
exam.
Pay 1 for
Oh, the Sweetie Belle, why?
Sweetie Belle. Sure.
Sweetie Belle.
It's so greedy!
And search the top 2 of your deck.
Yep.
I guess he can do so with the thought that maybe Spirit Siphon will get him somewhere. Oh, jeez. I mean, I know you want your white. Maybe that's why. Maybe he's valuing the white across multiple turns.
We'll have you discard that one.
Okay. The other one's message, isn't it?
Did leave a card on top of Bugle's deck,
Yes, he did.
And then
which Bugle guesses his message. Not a bad guess.
Pay 2 for
Mhm.
I'm the Friend You Need to banish.
Banish this one. Sure.
Bull's gone. Okay. Now, do you play the Spectacle this turn to get it back, just to be safe? Because if you do, Bugle goes for the Dream
Anything
Seize. Not that Cheese would have any way of knowing that, but
I will exhaust my main for an
Fair.
action token. And pass turn.
Okay. Ready.
Okay.
Gain 3.
I mean, he might still go for it. So
Draw my message from the past. Oh, wasn't.
sure,
I'd
Parachute
rather you
makes
have
sense.
to figure out a way to get rid of it, which is actually not that hard. But
It's not hard, but it's better than free.
drawing a different
right?
card, yeah.
Yeah, we'll discard. Pay 1 for.
This is our second
Flower
moderate
Pose.
mistake of the match.
Because he doesn't have the pink.
2 to
Yes.
move Garble. 1 for a
And
counter
how does this
on
get corrected?
Garble. Score
This
50
does
front.
not get corrected.
Okay. Well, Cheese got
Go
the
ahead.
the
Okay.
let's make our mark together in game
Ready.
1. Bugle can have the Flower Ponies in game 2.
3, draw a card.
I was just about to ask about that color.
Okay. Let's
So this looks like an easy
Redraw.
Spirit Siphon.
Okay.
wait, no crap. Wrong button. Search 2. There we go. Yeah, these can both.
Oh, yeah. You don't want me to have those. Okay. I will dismiss Sweetie Belle.
Sure. One sec.
Spirit Siphon is one of those cards that probably telegraphs more than any other card draw, and suddenly you start checking the discard piles. I think I know what you just drew.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Exhaust my main for an action.
I'm glad to see
I
that the
will
card
use
has found its
Rush
way
Okay,
into
fair enough.
white.
I didn't know if you had a rush
decks
makeover
other than
because
just
you didn't
mill.
reveal the top
You
part of
see
your
it in
deck.
core.
Right.
In Animoy's or I don't think Animoy was running it, but Bugle
Spectacle.
definitely wasn't Zip.
Spectacle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
got the
Yeah,
white. We're
going to the
getting
right place.
these cards back. Played the rush,
Okay.
sure.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll do. I can wait. No, I don't have the whites. No, I do have white.
You do have the white. Your main is
Oh
turned.
no,
Right,
Cheese!
yes. Okay, we'll do
Cheese,
that
wrong
to get rid
order!
of the top 5 of your deck.
Okay.
What?
1,
I am so confused
2,
right now.
3, 4, 5. Okay.
Okay, I guess he's just banking on the Spirit Siphon getting him an option. I mean, that's true. All he needs is
Play
a
Spirit
Heart Strongest
Siphon
Horses or a
against
Spectacle or another I'm the Friend You
Years,
Need.
which has 3 events in it.
Right.
Does it actually?
Yeah.
I'm sure
okay,
he'll
fair
banish 2 Rushed Makeovers and Blank Flanks, I would guess. This is such a greedy play, Cheese.
I'll
In the
get
Spectacle.
rid of 3 of mine.
Okay, that's fine.
To gain 3.
Yep.
And draw 3 cards.
Already had so much event recursion. It's not that likely that you find another piece. Yeah. At least you've got your white now. Do you pay to draw?
We'll pay 2 for Trixie and use her immediately.
Okay, sure. You might as well get something out of Trixie now.
Right.
You can. In his future,
Banish
what are we
your
banishing? Rock Hooves? Sure.
Okay.
I'd say Cheese seems relatively unconcerned about that garble.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Does.
I'm not even
Power.
worried about the garble for hand
Sure,
disruption at
I
this point. I'm just worried about the garble as point acceleration.
Spell token.
Can I go while you're doing that, or are you doing anything else?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready, 3.
Yeah, you're good.
Draw card for turn.
Admittedly, Eagle's hand is not
Um,
particularly amazing at the moment.
Exhaust.
No, it's
discard
not.
Message for Dream Seized.
And so Cheese will be left with no hand at the end of this
Oh,
turn,
okay,
assuming
so this
that
is fine.
Bugle
It's
opts
not going to matter
to.
because you're going to discard the other one in a second here.
Well, actually, he doesn't technically have the AT required to
Oh no,
do
that's
everything
not
he
true
has.
at all. Oh. What?
Yeah, he made the same mistake as you
Whoops.
did, thinking that
Guess
he
I'm not
could
DFO
DFO.
this turn. Oh no.
But
Let me think.
yeah,
Yeah, he's 1 AT,
Let's
1
do
AT
2
and 1
good
power shot.
Lyra. So we'll discard Message and this. Get 8.
Right. Okay.
Aha. Okay. Then we'll pay 1
That will work,
for
though.
Bonbon because I exhausted a card this turn.
Yes.
Score phase, confront.
Yep.
Now
Face
Cheese will
off.
be left with nothing there.
right. Discard and another point off of garble.
Okay, you discard. I'll score
That's
1 and then 1 for garble.
Enough. Well, not enough to win, but sure is a lot.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
Place problems.
I understand
I'll
wanting to
turn and
go
put these in
for
my
nil
hand.
value. Okay, now, admittedly,
Go
Spell
ahead.
Showdown is one of the better cards
Spell
Cheese could
Showdown.
get here, as it's providing him with potential
Now
card
I
advantage.
will
Okay.
reveal it again with Twilight.
Sure.
Okay, Coriander's
And
fine. He does have the orange to be able to play that.
You get 4.
Right, it's 2 rec. I always forget.
sure. Let's exhaust.
And now
Okay,
Trixie
I'll
will
dismiss her.
get eaten.
Can I put this at 0? I can. Okay.
Well, it doesn't matter. I dismissed her.
So ultimately, Trixie was
And
AT neutral but card disadvantage. So
Right.
draw.
Mhm.
okay, landing the rock right here is
I want
interesting
the
because he
rock
can
there.
get around
Okay.
And
the flower
exhaust
ponies
to
this
have
turn.
you mill
Okay.
2.
1.
There's the Izzy.
That's
And
I will
yeah,
shuffle
that's
those
like
3 cards back in.
middle of the road for when to hit the Izzy.
it's actually pretty good for Cheese because he had just played the Spirit Siphon, so there was almost nothing he could do.
Oh, that's
this
right.
turn.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll pay 2 to play Coriander.
Sure.
Let's
Want to name
do
message
that.
from the past?
name. Let's name Haven Bay.
A good name,
No Haven
but
Bays.
nothing here.
No, Haven Bays. Where's your... okay.
Okay. Anything else?
Yep. No, you can put it all back in hand.
Okay.
Because you have 9 in hand, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess with Spell Showdown, yeah, there's no DFO on this board.
No, not even
I
with
will
the garble there.
pass turn.
Okay. Ready. Gain 4.
Spell Showdown
Draw
is a
cards this
high
turn.
confront rec, so even
Okay.
the other Coriander won't be enough for
Okay.
Cheese to do
Definitely
that.
going to exhaust Apple Bloom, discard message, pirate ship.
Yep, Pirate Ship
Right.
moves up
Okay.
Garble.
1. Pay
For
1
blending in, I'm assuming?
to move Garble.
No, we're just going straight up there for Rock right now.
Pay 1 for Bonbon.
Or are we DFOing?
I think, if I remember
ready pirate
correctly,
ship.
Google thinks he has a line here that DFOs.
I don't know how he does this with 2 action tokens.
Does this work?
He can Pirate Ship
Yes,
Lyra
no,
up.
this is totally fine.
Yeah, there's... No, I don't
Does
see
say
another way
friend,
that he
yes, okay.
makes this work.
1 exhaust.
If he had opted to
Move.
play Bonbon to the
I don't
other
know.
problem, Ready
Let's
Pirate
give
Ship,
Bonbon her time to shine.
use Shovel in hand on the Garble at Spell Showdown. It would have gotten him closer, but I still
1.
think he would have been shy.
Oh, nope. I did mess up. Proceed to score phase. And
Okay.
confront for 1.
But yeah, I think
Pass
you're
turn.
right that there was, well,
Okay. Ready.
There was a line to get him closer. I don't know if there was still a way to do
EV.
it.
Reveal for Spell Showdown.
point's still a point.
Okay,
Into hand.
that's a great card to reveal for Spell
for
Showdown. Reveal with Twy now.
Twily.
Another one.
Okay.
Draw.
Ooh. But no white.
I guess.
No white, no way to get one.
Pay 1 to draw.
Okay.
Okay, Tranquility's
Cool.
not bad.
We'll pay.
It's
Wait,
AT
we'll pay-
positive.
Yeah, no. Stay at 2. Okay. Pay 1 for Tranquility. I think I have another Tranquility in there.
Oh.
Yes.
I think you do, yes.
Gain 2. Draw a card.
Goes to 4 draws.
Let's pay 1 to draw.
Okay.
Normally, okay.
Oh,
All right,
there we
there's
go.
there's some white. Now we got some stuff
And
cooking.
1 more.
Okay.
Okay, sure. We'll pay 1
I'm
for
okay.
white.
Singing Barrel.
Okay.
But why did
Turn
he
that.
play Singing Barrel instead of Rushed?
And pay nothing.
Sure.
Oh, because the white
For
would sure. Okay, he already had the discount, so
And we'll get back. Well, let me just search.
Right, he would have been stacking discounts if he had used Rushed, yeah.
We'll get back and have the friend you need.
still 180. Oh, but he's got Apple Bloom, so he can use Apple Bloom for the discount here. Okay, so that's not bad. What do you discard? Coriander?
Okay.
No, he still has the Coriander.
No, what will he discard?
Oh, what Willie did, sorry.
We will
Maybe you discard
exhaust
Rushed?
Apple Bloom.
Yep.
And
No, discard
Oh, yeah.
Coriander.
You were right.
A
Or, in theory,
He's thinking about Barrel. Barrel's a decent choice, too.
we'll discard a barrel.
Okay. I'll dismiss Apple Bloom.
Oh, it's a token.
It's a token, so it just disappears. Yeah.
Now you got to play I'm the Friend here.
And
Jeez.
oh,
Jeez, please. You found your line. You found your line out of the
I
garble.
have color. I've used my cost reduction. We will use Rockhoof to have you.
Okay. 1, 2.
okay?
2.
Does he remember that he has the Apple
Gonna
Bloom
have
discount
to.
here?
We'll pay 1.
Yes, he does.
for
Okay.
I'm the friend you need to banish
Banish
Garble.
Okay.
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 We got there.
Yeah.
Made me sweat, but 2
Pass
Garbles
turn.
permanently gone.
Ready.
Bugle's down to
Four.
16 cards left in deck.
Card for
15
turn.
now, I believe.
Okay.
Up a significant value in terms of points, but the Izzy is also gone.
Right.
Exhaust, pay 1, move Apple
That Apple Bloom is still big.
Exhaust, pay 1 for Apple Bloom here.
Get there this turn?
Exhaust, discard message for rock.
In terms of points, there's
here.
only 4
Well,
on board right
not
now.
points. Yeah, I mean
7.
the DFO.
Oh, the DFO? I mean, that's 8 over at Spell Showdown.
I'm gonna pay
Yeah.
I don't know how he.
for a
He'd have to
shovel,
be
put
using
a counter on
Midnight Snack.
rock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's not enough.
Then I'm gonna go to Scoreface
But I suppose he probably gets there next turn.
and choose orange
Right.
and confront.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And that is enough points if he DFOs next turn now.
Yep, and of course he is holding on to both
Okay,
Bailout and
then
Midnight Snack if he
reveal
needs
Spell
to, and he's got the Flower
Showdown.
Ponies
Yep.
active. Spell Showdown, no Spell Showdown, but Octavia's pretty good.
Reveal Twilight.
Yeah,
Drop turn.
reveal. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And for Twilight.
Twilight.
Okay.
Let me think.
So now you can go rushed into Octavia for free into Heartstrong as horses
I think I will
to
pay
get back
1
something.
and bail her out, discarding message, and then dismiss her.
Ooh. Well, that was mean.
If you're playing her, it's either for a reason or because you're giving up. So
Well, it was for a good reason. I have lots of good reasons. Let's make you mill 2.
okay, 1, 2, no parachute.
Cheese needs a
Oh,
method
yes.
of somehow dealing with the board here, and I don't think he has one.
Discard Coriander.
Okay.
Let's pay
Well, this will do something.
nothing for white.
Okay.
And then pay 1 for
Interesting
this.
sequencing here.
We'll get back a spectacle.
Okay.
And then play spectacle to put Raku on top of your deck.
Okay. That's. I don't think that's enough.
No, because Bugle's still
Anything
sitting
else?
at more
Nope,
than enough
that's it.
power. Let's see.
Ready,
3, 4,
ready.
5, 6,
Gain
7.
5.
Yeah, Bugle still has
Comes
enough power
back
just on
and draw
board
rock
to
hoof.
be confronting because he can put a counter on Apple Bloom or
Pay 1
Bonbon
for
at blending
rock
in,
hoof.
or
1,
play the rock hoof,
Lyra,
move that up
2,
there,
3,
pay
4,
2,
5,
move Flower
6.
Ponies over, and that'll be enough.
Right.
2 for a new flower ponies.
I think his only option at
Okay.
that point was to
Maybe 4, 5, 6,
play
7.
play the
GG.
Octavia
Yeah.
using the discount,
Good
play
game.
hearts to get back hearts, play hearts to have Bugle discard 2, then use Octavia's song trigger to bail out his main, I guess, with Raise the Sparn. Is that the best method? Bail out the main with Raise the Sparn. I think that's the best line that I could see there.
Right.
Hmm.
Well,
Well.
he
It
was.
actually,
Go on.
he was cooking.
And he was. Game up. So, just now all square. Going to game 3.
So here we go, game 3. Did we get Adventure or Core?
We got Core.
Okay, so if I remember, this is Bugle's Resource Reanimation / Show and Tell versus Cheese is playing. I don't actually remember what his core deck is.
It's Celestia.
Oh, mono purple?
Yeah.
But not the combo, right?
Not the combo.
Okay.
Yeah, it is both players pointed out, it's actually the first time in the tournament they've played either of these decks.
That's not true. Bugle played the resource reanimation against me, didn't he? Didn't we get that game 3?
I don't think so.
Did we not? Am I losing my mind?
Let me look at my notes.
I played Chaos Control against his. Was it against Zip? Did I play Chaos Control against Zip? And then played. I guess not. Wow.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
Zip against Izzy, and then Lyra against Twy, and it was only 2 games.
Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, never mind. Okay, well, let's see some show and tell.
Sure. Oh, I guess you want to see the deck with the royal family in it then. Although, funnily enough, he boarded it out for this match.
Did he? All 3 royal families and the treehouse gone versus Celestia. Sure, I guess getting high value targets into play.
Yeah, we've seen Pancake play this deck quite a bit.
Maybe that's where I was getting confused. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that could be it. In his road through the tournament, and so it I'll admit it took me having to see the deck get played a couple times before I realized what the main idea was supposed to be.
When it clicked, yeah.
Yeah, but all these wonderful resource copies. There's some beautiful stuff in here. In particular, Nova Charm, which I've got there. If your opponent has a 10 power Celestia on the field, there's only one option for what to retire.
Oh yeah, Nova Charm is excellent against high value threats. Less so against the wide boards, but that's not what Purple's known for, so.
Fair enough, yeah.
A lot of removal in here when you look at it, right? Wrath of Gilda. And I mean, I think we need to talk about one of the rudest interactions here, right? Which is, you mentioned all the resource copying. And of course, being able to play Izzy to get back some 2-cost resources from your discard pile and get double value out of them is very, very strong. Having a Nova Charm in your discard through some type of effect, and then getting it back and getting one to hand is good. Perhaps what is even meaner, though, is playing a Nova Charm and then playing Becoming Popular to copy your Nova Charm for each player, forcibly getting 2 additional triggers on it.
Oh boy. World's worst Christmas gift.
Yeah, a little bit. So I really like what's going on in this deck. This is definitely a new kind of weird archetype, but boy, it sure looks like there's enough support for it. And don't count pink-white out. If there's anything we learned from BABSCon, it's that color combo is still got teeth.
Fair enough, yeah. One thing that's interesting, I guess, is that this being a game 3, she's playing Celestia. These are both pretty slow decks. There is, to that end, there's I think there's an hour 10 on the clock, something like that. So fair amount of time. But it is game 3.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're going to be grinding it out. Neither one of these decks, as I'm looking here, has. I don't remember if Celestia. Well, let's go to the Celestia deck here and see. But I don't think either of these decks is
in
running.
here.
Okay, so Luster is the closest to point acceleration. We don't have Crystal Bright House.
I believe that's right.
We don't. Yeah, no Crystal Bright House. Okay. But friends are vulnerable, so Interesting. Buzzer keep away. That's true.
Yeah,
call
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Buzzer keep away is a fair point.
So purple actually has the theoretical point acceleration against the pink-white deck, which is kind of
Yeah.
funny to think about.
Yeah, Bugle does have the comets, so it's not like terribly hard for him to get rid of Buzzer Keep Away if it shows up. Although, he'd prefer to use those, against confronts or whatever.
Mm-hmm. All right.
All right.
Well, let's see it.
Game 3.
Okay, and I get 2 moles if I would like.
This is another one. Cheese chose to go first.
You decide,
Okay,
I decide,
got
you
it.
decide, I decide.
Yep.
It's a decent hand. He doesn't have any friends, but he does have the Tranquility, which can draw him into something useful, although it could be a bit of a dead draw if he doesn't get anything beyond that.
Right. And Snack Stand's a great
I will
keep
not.
early.
Okay, I will keep.
He's opting for just a little bit more.
Bugle, I believe, says later, he's keeping this hand because it has a pipsqueak in it, and that's all there is to it.
I'm keeping for one reason
simple
and one
enough,
reason
right?
only. But it's a darn good reason.
Because you have cards in your hand.
All right. Well, Tempest,
I
Luster,
will
sure.
mulligan.
This'll work.
Okay. That one you
Or
gotta
not.
keep. This next one.
This next one, yeah.
I am curious what he's looking
Either
for. Is he
card.
just
You can
hunting
mull
for
until
more
you're
events
done.
then? Because that one had entry.
No.
You get to craft your hand.
I think I'm going to lose this matchup, so I will
Okay.
spend 50 minutes mulliganing.
Yeah. Okay.
No, that would be considered stalling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, he's got entry. He's got point
That's what you said.
acceleration.
It is what I said. Okay, cool.
This
Game 2.
could be fine.
Pass turn.
Okay, gain 3. 1 for Pipsqueak to home. 0 for Pinky Sense.
Oh, that's why you kept it. Okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. Because we're not starting
right.
with that because it's banned. Ugh.
Banned.
Yeah. Okay.
Banning Pipsqueak would have been an interesting invitational choice. Snack Stand. That's pretty good.
I think someone might ban it next year.
Sure,
They
we'll
might.
do that.
Most unassuming 1 rec, 1 cost card,
We'll
but
pay 2 for
boy, is
snack
it a ringer.
stand. Come here, calling purple.
Oh, that's not bad.
Exhaust the stack stand and pay 2
Tempest,
for
yeah, sure.
a Tempest Shadow.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will pass turn.
At the end of your turn, I will discard a Grogar's Lair.
Mm-hmm.
Gain 2. Draw for Eager. Draw for turn.
Izzy's pretty great here.
Okay. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He's just waiting for the mains to flip.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that this is Pinky Sense discarding
Before I draw.
Wrath? I don't know. He did leave in the Wraths.
The Twilighting.
Understand.
Then we will do search 3. Okay. So that's hand top bottom. Okay.
He's taking a look at a couple of cards.
Sure.
Might like to draw into.
Top bottom.
You could have just left one on top there.
There's a blank flanks on bottom,
you can just
peas
put it in
on
your
top.
hand
Is
too,
that
I
what we
guess.
saw? And then something in hand?
Unless
Peas
you're
on
playing
top,
another
yeah.
thing before draw step.
I think it's well, we'll see. Yeah.
Worn out. Okay, sure. And then, did he draw for turn?
Not yet.
Then let's
Pay
one.
Is this caught that
2.
he didn't draw for turn?
Yeah.
It's not it's still valid that he hasn't drawn for
Yeah,
turn
play.
yet. This is a ready step
Or
play.
not, to move Pipsqueak. We're gonna move up to here.
But yes, we do catch it.
I'm sad. Why would you do such a thing?
Once,
I know, it's so
once we reach a game state where it's clear that he forgot.
pass turn.
You have not drawn for turn.
Oh, I haven't drawn for turn. That's
No.
true.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
drew for turn.
Now you're passing.
Pass turn.
Okay. Gain 2.
Eagle opting
draw
not to use Pinky
for
Sense
not
that time.
eager. Pay 1.
Now he doesn't have to wait for Izzy to
For
flip to be
Ray
able
of
to
Hope.
use.
I'll choose
uh,
Whiten.
Oh,
Is it
yeah,
from
yeah,
hand?
he's got his wreck, yeah.
2 for Stellar
So,
Flare.
next turn, I guess.
We'll put Stellar Flare here, sure. Do I do this?
Thinking about the
I
Fashion
think I
Overload.
do.
He is.
Which, yeah, I mean, that's the only resource in
it's
Cheese's
funny.
deck.
He's
We'll
gonna go for it,
Fashion
okay.
Overload Ray of Hope into Snack Stand.
Okay. That's dismiss, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And now we both have 3, which is good enough for Izzy. So Izzy will boost.
Is Izzy putting Ray back in then?
I think we will pay 2 to move Izzy. This is
Ooh.
weird.
Okay.
Izzy could still use Ray if she wanted
Then
to. I don't know how much Beagle
want
values having Ray
Ray of
available.
Hope back. Not particularly.
All right, now I guess.
Score phase, confront.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Points will be
All right.
critical. Score them whenever you can.
Draw card.
He's getting plenty of friends,
Fine.
not a whole lot else.
Yeah, events is what he really wants, of course.
You're not even close to 10.
Yeah, no.
He had one extra
Yeah,
AT that Magic printed out would obviously be
will
fantastic.
Pass turn.
Great. Gain 2. Draw card
Yeah,
for
banking
turn.
seems like the right play here.
I've changed my mind. I would like this Ray of Hope.
Wonder why.
Makes sense.
1,
right?
2, 3, 4. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Score phase, confront.
Uh,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah, she's 3 either way. It's nice.
So easy to forget about Izzy's
Okay.
second ability.
Let's
Yes, it is.
gain 3.
That's why I was wondering if he was going to take Ray on the previous turn. Okay, so Cheese certainly has options now.
Ready. Yeah, ready. Gain
Choosing to
3.
bank, so we assume
Draw
that he's
card for
just
not eager.
opting for the
still.
Magic Brown out here.
Okay. I think we're gonna go ahead and pay 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
For
Izzy getting back
Izzy.
Grogar's Lair.
Grogar's
Yeah.
Create
Lair.
a copy of Grogar's Lair.
Okay.
Yeah, so few friends on the other side of the board. Pretty good.
Oh no, that goes to my
And
hand.
that goes into your
actually.
hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is a token copy.
Of course, it's a little unfortunate that Cheese would be sending Pipsqueak home in this case.
And then I will go to score phase.
Right.
Confront for 1.
Sure.
Go ahead.
She says, okay, that's fine.
Gain 3. Draw card.
I mean, the Baby Flurry Heart here is obviously good against the Grogar's Lair when it comes back,
Right.
but against the token, less so.
So good. I mean, yeah, good to get rid of it, but sucks to not get any AT back.
Pay 1 to draw a card. 1, 2,
have option.
3, 4, 5.
5? Oh, sure,
That's a
sure.
big
I get it.
fly.
I get it.
Right. Yeah, nowhere close to the Unity, but
Um,
1 extra AT a turn at least. And it is confronting, I guess, yeah.
Correct.
I will go
Good way to shove stuff home, right?
to
And Bugle's not setting on a
score
lot of
phase.
friend removal right now. I don't think
Score
he's
phase
willing
is
to
good.
waste a
In
wrath
front for 1.
for
Okay.
these two friends.
Face off.
You
I'll
an
gain a
action
prepared token.
Wait, before flips.
Oh, before flips.
I will pay 2 to Spider
Pipsqueak on top?
Surprise pipsqueak. on top.
No,
There you
why
go.
would you do that?
I don't want you to have card advantage.
8. So I'm at 8 to your 7, and you're
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah, you can use Pinky Sense here, Bugle.
The amount of fighting over this pipsqueak is
What do I want to put on top of my deck here?
amusing.
If I want to draw pipsqueak.
I mean, it's not unwarranted, of course.
Knowing that the Pinky Sense is there, I may have chosen to tuck
Let's
Pipsqueak deeper.
discard a mysterious card.
Yes,
to the
he
top
did
of
have
my
that
deck.
unity. Yeah.
Okay, I flip a 4.
I think you win the face-off.
Yeah, I was up before the flips.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then try to get it flipped later. Although the Pinky Sense would still be.
The Pinky Sense would still be there, but basically just make it harder, right? If the opponent had the ready Pinky Sense, then you knew there was no shot of being able to truly tuck Pinky unless the opponent missed it.
Anything else?
Or tuck Pipsqueak unless the opponent missed
I
it.
will flip my main.
Right.
Oh, yes.
So delaying it a few turns may have been better,
Boo.
especially because it could continue getting shuffled back into awkward
Yeah.
spots if Bugle keeps opting to use
Okay.
Izzy's main ability.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Ready. Game 3. Draw Pipsqueak.
We have
for
point
turn.
acceleration on the board, though. We also have a Pipsqueak, which is about to be on the board. Again.
I think. Oh. That is my discard. That's why I can't search it.
Yeah.
I think we just play Pipsqueak pass here.
Okay. Gain 3. Gain an extra. Draw a card.
Elderflower, interesting.
Pay.
Oh, right. It was.
4.
I was going to remark about
Oh no.
For Flurry
Sure.
Heart.
his main,
Okay.
but the Spider Surprise flipped it. Okay.
Okay. No, you get 0. This is a token.
Oh, that's true. There's a token copy. Yeah.
Do they catch that Flurry should be
I'll leave it there in case
frightened?
we get another.
He did pay 4 for it.
Yeah.
He did pay for it? Okay.
Yeah, the fun interaction.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power. So he's only 2 away from the Unity 15.
Yes, that's true.
I will pass turn.
Okay. Gain 3. Draw for eager. Draw for turn. It happened again, finally.
Now,
that
this
right now.
board
I'll pass
looks
the
a
turn.
little bit more appealing to consider a wipe on.
Gain 3, gain an extra.
But you did just play the Pipsqueak,
Draw for turn.
although Beagle's board is kind of...
Attempt.
Yeah, there's not a lot to it
So-
there except that pipsqueak, yeah.
I think
Okay.
Beagle's hoping that Cheese is going to overcommit.
2 to move up.
Yep.
Score face.
1, 2, 3. We're gonna play Comet. I'll exhaust and use the counter immediately.
To replace the problem.
So that's fine. He can do so because the tax off of
Nice
Fly
try.
is to move a character,
Hey,
draw a card, play a
Stop that.
troublemaker, or
Go
rally
away,
a friend.
mother.
Correct?
Keep away.
Yes, all the
Okay.
defined main phase action.
Anything else?
No.
But yeah, that Lustrodon,
Ready.
yeah, as you mentioned, he's at the Unity
Draw
now.
for eager. Draw for turn. Aha! Costs me 3 to move right now. Yeah, that's bad. I'll take your big twy.
He's without an answer to that immediately.
Then what?
Little
I'm
awkward.
gonna pay 1 for Ray of Hope into blue. Then I'm gonna pay 1 for Canterlove Studios.
Ooh.
Stealing
I'm
the
going to
purple
exhaust
wreck.
and
Not bad.
Discard
Oh yeah, Phew.
Citrine
Gee, I didn't even think about that when I was editing this.
I was wondering where he got the purple from.
Exhaust, banish Citrine, your snack stand, and you don't have any tranquility, so worn out is good enough. To move.
Why up?
Now is that banished just to? I mean, I guess it gets him out of home limit trouble.
Yes, we move I don't
but
want
he
to
could be
move
retiring
Twilight,
the
but I think
unicorn
it's
frame
correct
token at
to move
home. It's not like
Twilight.
he cares about that, and he also doesn't care about having Izzy at home right now either.
Right.
Two
You remove events
to
from
move
like a possible spirit
Comet.
siphon later.
Right.
2 to move Comet.
So I assume that's part of it, just trying to capitalize on value.
And Scoreface.
Was he at 3
Good front
after
for
that?
1.
I guess he
Pass turn.
was, so.
'Kay.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens here.
3. Draw card.
These draws. Another Flurry Heart. Well, that one's
I
real.
will pay 2 for a Trixie and use it,
Okay.
and then pay 2.
Levitation, Meditation, not bad. Moving both of them home.
Okay.
Why there? Okay.
Very annoying.
Sure.
Sure, just
End
filling
of
up the sub limit,
turn.
retiring that, stealing
That's
Twi
fine.
back. Makes
Yep.
sense.
Fair enough. No free AT for me either. Okay.
Pass turn.
Ready.
Not bad.
Ready.
Yeah, and those two friends are okay being at home.
Three.
Mhm.
Draw for Eager. Draw for turn.
The Nova Charm, of course, being awkward here.
A little bit.
Sauce.
It'll hit
For
Pinky
Big Twi.
sets
Right.
to
That's what I mean, awkward for
discard
cheese. They
Oh.
just spent all those resources getting it back, and
Nova
now
Charm.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah,
This-
okay.
No.
Should have let you finish your sentence.
Yes, but not for the reason you think. 4
Oh.
for Izzy
Ooh.
to
Play your
clone.
helmets.
That's the brutal play here.
A friend with the highest power among friends
Yeah.
they control.
Talked about getting a Nova Charm in the discard
For
pile.
you, that's going to be Twilight.
got the
and
pinky
for me,
sense to
that's
do
going
it.
to be Comet.
Otherwise, it normally banishes itself. So
Ooh.
Like it was deterministic that particular time.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Okay. Game 3. Ready.
Mhm.
Draw a card.
okay, Spirit Siphon is an option
3.
here, allowing cheese to
Okay.
remove whatever exists of Bugle's board. But right now, it seems like he's
To
just
banish.
banishing the Canterlove. Or are you banishing Nova Charm?
Your
It's got to be the Canterlove,
Yeah,
right?
the cantaloupe. Yeah, you don't want.
Cantaloupe is banished. You'll get 1 back.
Yeah. Token, you don't want.
I'm sad.
Or wait. Nova Charm has to have the exhaust thing to work? No, it
No, whenever it
Um,
leaves play, enters or leaves play, it just
Yeah.
has the ability to do that. Animoy asks if tokens
I
have 0 cost. Does that
will-
mean Premonition can dismiss any token resource? Yes, it does.
Pass turn.
Okay. Ready.
I have not played an event since I flipped my main.
I know. Gain 3.
Your events are expensive,
Draw
cheese.
for Eager.
Draw cheaper
Draw
events.
for turn.
Another Izzy.
I
My
think
gosh.
we just shuffle Plurite into the top 5 and then pass turn.
Turn. Okay. Game 3. Draw a card.
Okay.
Sure,
Are there
at
enough events
least you
here to
do
get value
something.
off of the siphon? I don't think so.
Alright.
Ooh, okay. I believe there's currently 1.
Just 1, which
Yeah.
is enough.
Is it?
To get 7 power?
I mean, 1
Or is it
puts
plus
her at
1?
3
Oh, no, it's
power.
plus 1.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is short. Short 1.
But I mean, it's not that hard to get 1 more.
Apparently it is in this deck.
I was going to say, where's the cheap stuff?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
What are we doing? Elderflower now? Elderflower's not a bad option. Are we paying to draw, hoping for events? Oh,
Okay.
well,
Well, it's got an event, yeah.
Let's just
monkey's paw there a little bit.
Passing turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready. Gain 3. Draw for Eager.
By the time it does hit the mid
Draw
game,
for
boy,
turn.
that's a nice first turn draw off that plurality that got
I'm
shuffled in
going
there.
to pass the turn.
Okay.
Sorry,
Game
you're mentioning about the big game?
I was going to say, by the time it gets to the mid game now, 4 AT a turn, Cheese is going to have a few options that are
Okay,
going to
wanna
be
go.
pretty brutal
Okay.
if he can get value out of it. But we'll have to see what
Fine.
comes of this. Spending 3, playing Spirit Siphon
Okay.
now.
I assume you're banishing both these cards.
Yeah, both of your cards and all the events.
Yeah, I think he gets only a half.
You
Siphon
keep
of
Twilight.
I can't because I
He
can't
gets
the
get
3
that,
AT back?
So I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
know
you
if
can't get anything back. Yeah. So.
But he
she's
does
liable.
proc his main, which is something.
Right.
1, 2, 3. Not token. The spell counter.
So
It gets
now
the spell
she's
count
up
on
to-
Trixie as well, which is pretty good.
No, you banished 3 more, so she's up to 6. Okay.
Yep, Celestia gets bigger.
Total, because there's 4 banished, yeah.
Yes.
And then, oops. Stop rotating so
Would that
much.
go up to 4? Although that means
That's
now
the
he
most
can't use his main.
Oh,
expensive.
and sorry, I was also gonna.
Oh yeah,
take off-
that's fine. I
yeah,
know that's why you did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold it against you right now.
Now, what does he search for here?
Could be anything. Another Celestia?
Restricted section.
Another Celestia.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Sign that he's won to start confronting stuff.
I mean, this also
And
presents
I
a
will
DFO
also
opportunity because he can play the
exhaust
Celestia,
this
use the
to
one,
send
or
home.
is that a main phase ability? No, it's immediate. So he
moving
can
her
play,
home,
use
sure.
the one at the ultimate challenge, and then attempt to confront Buzzer
yes.
Keep Away, which would buff that other Celestia up to the additional 1 power necessary.
Would do it, yeah.
Whatever. We'll pay 2 to move up. I can do that, right? Not 2 a
Yep.
problem or 2 home. Yeah. Oh, I get to move 2, but I don't
Yeah.
actually want to move 2.
You want to move this?
No.
No, he
I
does
really
not
don't
want
want
to
to move
the,
anything
the
else.
token there.
The first time that's been played during main phase for 1. Well, without opting for the second.
For sure.
Probably
Spell
not. But
counter.
anyway. Yeah, spell counter. Okay,
Spell
I
counter on Trixie.
will go to score phase and confront, unless you have something.
Score phase confront is fine by me.
Okay, pass turn.
Yeah. Okay. Gain.
Let's
3.
see. Does Bugle still have the Ray? He does have a Ray.
Turn.
I smell
Huh.
I smell the wrath coming
Think
here,
you'll
but I
retire
don't
Ray's
know if
vote
it's true.
into white. Sorry, into blue.
There
I
it is.
think you've
Okay.
got it, yeah.
Yeah.
I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yep.
It's got
Then
1, 2, 3,
we'll
4, 5
3
friends, which is 1,
and
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep,
put
there's
a
the wrath.
bunch of friends away. And sadly,
Okay.
I don't get a free unicorn because they get frightened first.
Yeah, pretty strong play. He does have the 3-point lead.
Coming eventually.
We're now
And I'm gonna shuffle this one back.
under half an hour.
Oh, that's true. I forget that the match has been scaled down a bit.
Because I kind of still need entry.
But you always wonder if
Pipsqueak.
like
Hi, Pipsqueak.
Bugle might be thinking of like, I am in the lead.
Pipsqueak.
Let's focus more on stopping Cheese
play
from
this.
scoring than on scoring myself.
Sure,
Kind
at this
of
point, he's got
not.
the 3-point lead, and he's got numerous control tools, right? A Nova Charm,
going
a
to pass
Plurite,
turn.
another Cantor Logic, although he does need
Okay.
color entry, right? He can
Ready.
potentially double up on Nova Charm again because he still has the Pinky Sense Sandbar combo. So all he needs to
You
do
can't play
is
Celestia right now anyway.
keep
Nope.
the wall
Yeah,
up
'cause
for
she's
another
up.
26
But
minutes.
I can play her as part of another play. So,
And more than that, he's also in
We'll pick
an
two
advantageous
for
position when it
less than
comes to resource
Thinking.
resource availability because of Pipsqueak generating extra card draw for him.
That is okay.
then
A sequence
will
of
pay
just
1
very,
for
very expensive draws.
Sean.
Okay.
I don't. Oh, jeez. I guess.
It was Plurite!
Oh,
So
Yeah,
Plurite
that's right.
must go at home. And then I will choose to swap, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunate change there for sure.
I
yeah.
mean, I chose the
I
least
mean, he
bad,
really would have needed to hit
but-
Izzy to hit anything that Izzy or Sandbar that were not going to be that dramatic. But like, you're spending one
I
AT
do
and a
still
card to
shuffle,
deny your
correct.
opponent 1 card on the next
That
turn.
matters because there's a stacked
You
card
had
there.
additional force
I
movement.
will
That may have been a
activate
little hasty on
Celestia.
that change there.
Okay.
But it does trigger for
Oh, I
Celestia,
guess
so maybe that's why he
technically
did
you
it.
activate her before the swap, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to matter.
You'd know what the swap
Yeah,
was.
trigger
So
ordering, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, actually.
now what do you find?
Any? Oh, 5.
Has to be.
Yeah.
For your deck, that is anything. Yes.
Yeah. With less than that event. Okay. Even.
What
Okay. We'll pick this.
Sure.
Okay.
Tempest, okay.
And we'll pay 2
Trixie, I guess.
for a
For Trixie.
Trixie and
Okay.
use it.
Sure.
Yep. Pass turn.
Trixie seems fine. At this
Uh,
point, if you're Cheese, I think you've got to
who is
opt
this guy
for
making a
AT
shuffle or
advantage
dex?
and
Gain
be
3.
gaining your points off of Buzzer Keep Away.
No draw for
and trying to
Eager.
keep the
I'm
board
still not allowed to
relatively
do that. I
empty,
will
and
draw
then just
for
relying on
turn,
Magic
however.
Brand out to move Bugle stuff home.
Uh,
Yeah, that's fair.
That seems like the best path to victory for me here.
I guess we shuffle Pipsqueak into the
Yeah.
top 5.
I guess that's the other thing maybe I should say. The other reason that Bugle is maybe tempted to just kind of hold here is
Right.
he keeps us at the
That's
3
a
AT
fair number.
level and kind of starves Cheese of resources a little bit.
Exactly. Cheese will be able to do more gaining that extra AT
I'm
every
gonna
turn
pass
than
turn
Bugle
from
can,
there.
because Bugle's control tools are going to be capped by the
Okay.
number of options he has to disrupt Cheese with, right? Cheese doesn't have much of a board right now. Bugle having extra AT doesn't really do a whole lot. Cheese having extra AT is going to let him play extra events, find extra friends, build up an extra board,
Ready?
or use Buzzer Keep Away.
Gain.
Right.
Draw a card. Pay 2 for Elderflower.
Okay.
And
Okay,
she
we had
can
an
have her
Elderflower.
own magic counter.
Sure.
And then Celestia,
I'll
I'm
pay 2
assuming?
to move up my main.
Okay.
Just move. Sure. Okay.
That is
I will-
sufficient, yeah.
Go to score phase.
Score phase is good.
Confront.
Yes.
Pass turn.
Gain 3. Ready.
Now, of
Draw
course,
cards
Bugle
for
having an
turn.
11 AT advantage
Hey.
and a somewhat
Let's
sizable
pay to
card
draw.
advantage here is
I'll pay again. Okay, great.
pretty hard to recover from.
Right. And that was his white entry. That's the one thing he was really missing.
Let's pay 2.
Oh, so he was. I was wondering why he was paying to draw.
No, let's pay 1 for Pipsqueak to home.
Okay.
Well, let's
Pipsqueak's back.
pay 2 for Citrine Spark, who I assume is going home.
Yeah, she can go home.
Okay.
She can chill there.
This is so... I never expected I would be playing this card for this purpose in this deck. We're gonna play Izzy Moonbow
Mm-hmm.
and bring back Stellar Flare. Sorry, we're gonna get a copy of Stellar Flare.
I mean,
So
seems
Yeah.
valid.
And 1.
Card can do that, yes.
And
Okay.
Then spend 2,
1,
play
2,
Stellar
3,
Flare.
4, 5, 6, 7 by my math.
yeah, and I guess you can play another Stellar Flare or move Izzy or.
Moving Izzy only gets me 10, which means I won't get 2 points, which is a little sad. Oh no, she'll be oh, that's so
Yes.
amazing!
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. We'll pay 2 to move
I
Izzy.
was going to say, her second ability, don't forget about that. We were just talking about that
Confront.
earlier.
Yep.
Sure.
Izzy and Lusterdon, best
I will
combo.
exhaust Izzy, which will give
It's pretty
Luster
strong,
plus
can't
3
lie.
and everyone else plus 1.
Shame Pink Purple
Confront
hasn't done a
again.
whole lot recently, but
Yep.
Which will give Luster another 2, so she's 7.
That's weird now that you mention it. You're right.
15.
Gee.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like only yesterday that
Flips.
color combo was all over the place.
it's been starved for options
I'll
for a
take
little
1
while.
more.
Yeah.
Okay. Cards
And I'm
can
not
go
going to say that was
home.
unintentional.
Problem is replaced, and then I decide home limit. Problem? No, I like exhausting my resources. I can't use Nova Charm anymore, which is so stupid.
Yeah.
You can still
I
play the one you have in your
think-
hand if you have no AT.
Yeah. It is actually
5, 6.
impressively useful resource.
I think
against
we just
that
go ahead
deck.
and get rid of Luster
yeah.
before you find a way to get her back. And
I need to step
also
away
we'll
1
get rid
second.
of the token
Okay.
Stellar Flare,
Okay.
which will get me a token Sweetie Belle. Oh, I have to discard a card. Sorry.
Oh,
We'll discard Grogar Slayer.
Yeah, discarding Lair again
That's
makes
gonna
sense.
be my turn. Go
Interesting to retire the
Painful.
Stellar Flare here over retiring the Izzy. I guess there's already an Izzy in discard, unless that was one of the ones that got banished by Cheese, but I don't think it was. So
I can't even use Pinky.
Wait,
Shop.
sorry
being
about
able
that.
to, no, you're good. I'm
Oh,
surprised
now
that
you
Bugle
go ahead.
chose to retire the Stellar to
Yeah.
get the one prepared token up
Let's
there over
pay-
retiring Izzy to get Izzy in the discard to be brought back with Izzy again, although I can't
Okay.
recall if there's another Izzy already in discard at this point in
Celestia.
time.
You.
Sure.
Celestia's pretty good.
I don't think that number.
Should do it on her own, yeah.
I don't think so.
She's
I'll search while you do stuff.
pretty desperate for points at this point.
The number has not changed. It is 4.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just going to hold
I
for
will score phase.
levitation then.
Yeah, you got me.
Pass turn.
Ready.
14
game
minutes left on the
4,
clock.
Draw card for turn. No. Draw card for eager, draw card for turn.
Remember that play you were talking about?
Let's exhaust Izzy.
Oh no.
Get
Is it
back
coming?
Izzy.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
1,
rude.
2, 3, 4.
Bugle, don't do it. Don't do it. It's so disrespectful.
Then let's play 2
Okay.
Not this
Not
time.
doing this yet.
Plurite to home.
But it could have
and take
happened.
Celestia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will go to score phase.
This is a tough
I
matchup no matter how
will
you slice it. The fact that all of the
pay
resources
2
that generally get
to
cheated
move
into play
Celestia
are tokens
Okay.
because of Izzy being used
and
here
I will exhaust my main.
means that
Okay.
Right, Flurry
Heart's
is
value.
really sad, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Jesus now opting for what? Another elderflower. Okay, well, it's cheap.
And put that into my
Elderflower?
hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will end my turn and I will retire Celestia to home limit.
Okay.
Go ahead. Oh, I have to discard 1.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Is he home limit 4 or is she home limit 5?
I will discard Canter.
I guess Sunny's 5 and Hitch is 5,
not
right? So
Canter
Izzy
Right.
should be 4.
Well, there's only
So that
4 friends, right?
Oh, my hand's so good.
Right, and so that's why I was wondering.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Yes.
Cantaloupe Studios.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Proceed.
that's fine. That
10
retire
minutes
was correct.
remaining.
Yeah. I will draw.
Trixie does have a spell counter, so you can get up to 5. You've got a little bit of AT generation going on.
will
Not much, but
exhaust
something.
for an action token.
I think
Sure.
we're going
We'll
for
play you.
Tempest, then going. Are we going to change
We'll pay
something?
2 to play you.
No, we're just playing Elderflower.
Okay.
Okay, sure.
Single confront.
And I'll
Sure. Still get the magic counter,
phase.
still useful for
I'm
potentially
gonna
stopping
pay
stuff.
2 for Nova Charm.
Which is
I
going
will
to
retire
force the
Citrine,
removal
you
on
retire
Tempest.
Tempest.
It's going to force the Citrine, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Gain 4. Ready. Draw for Eager.
Now, that
Draw
Nova
for
Charm is a viable target
turn.
for Flurry Hearts.
It is, yes.
2 for Stellar Flare. 2, 3, 4. This is so stupid, but I think it is correct to pay 2 to move the unicorn token.
That
1 sec.
is a
Oh,
play.
sure. Oh,
Did you
yeah, you have a
play?
trigger.
Sorry,
Yeah.
did you play Stellar Flare or move her?
I played Stellar Flare, yes.
Okay, and I think I can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Move
I
the
will
magic
move her
counter, yeah.
home.
Okay.
Now I
so
think she just creates a. Yeah, you can put
Yeah,
the token anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. That's
So
a good
that's
call.
fine.
Okay. In that case, I suppose I'm gonna play the Spinky Sense before I forget again. I keep forgetting.
I guess you also make the token first anyway.
Yeah.
So
I think I will pass the turn banking too. Go ahead.
I think you do opt for the flurry here. It'll eat the flurry, but
Right.
okay.
It's a
the
1.
2 AT
Pass
it's
it.
1 AT, get rid of the
Ready.
Nova Charm,
Yeah.
Gain 4,
and
draw
remove,
card.
and either remove Stellar Flare or
Should've
remove Izzy.
I should have used Izzy. I don't want any of this right now.
Okay.
This is a
Spirit
full value
Siphon.
siphon.
Everything.
Everything? Okay. I have 1 event.
And I have 5.
You did? Okay. I'll take your word for it. Spell counter.
Draws 3. Okay.
Oh, yeah, those are friends.
Exhaust.
Probably the best thing you can get right now.
Right. Try to keep
Okay.
his board as healthy as he can. Now, Tempest gives him enough power to do the confronting, but that can force the Nova Charm pop off of either of them. Flurry still won't be enough to remove the Nova Charm pop either.
Spend 2 to move up.
Moving Celestia will help. Actually, if he stays at this point, he can just be retiring the Plurite, so maybe he doesn't want to play a 3-power friend right now.
So, other Trixie then, I guess.
Also pay
So,
2.
yeah, another Trixie seems
and exhauster.
pretty interesting here. Go up to 1. Yep, go up to 2. Save for Spider
Score
Surprise.
phase.
Yeah, that seems pretty decent.
Oh,
actually, he can't use Nova Charm right now. Nova Charm requires being exhausted, and it can't be exhausted because of method overacting.
Okay.
That's right. Yep.
4. Draw for Eager. Draw for turn. Wow, that is so late.
So the Flurry Heart would have actually been terrible.
I'm gonna pay.
I guess, yeah.
3.
But yes, here's the
becoming
very rude
popular.
play.
Okay,
Going
yeah.
to gain control of Elderflower, and then we both get a copy of Nova Charm. Aren't you so thrilled?
Yes.
Both of those trigger.
So now
Wait.
we each.
Why the what was the Elderflower stealing? Sorry. Oh, you're playing Becoming Popular.
I'm becoming popular. Yeah. So, that
and
goes
at this
to my
point,
discard,
it's
and
basically
my Nova Charm
sealed it
triggers,
with
then your
2.5 minutes
triggers.
left. I mean, it is close, right? It is only 3 points away, but
not
Cheese
there.
would need a Luster Dawn
Oh, sorry.
Right.
alongside
I think
some other
I will
such
hit
shenanigans.
these 2 and put a unicorn into play here.
Bugle might. Yeah, I think he's able to confront this turn too.
Looks like it, yeah.
Then I will exhaust Izzy to get back Stellar Flare. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think.
And have the comment for safekeeping here, yeah.
Pay 2 to move Izzy up here.
Just to
And
try to win
then
the
I will
face-off
go
in
to score
case, I
phase.
guess. Or in case Cheese has a removal event.
Yeah, this insulates him against levitation.
Okay.
Sure.
Confront for 1.
Which, yeah,
Go
says
ahead.
that Bugle believes this is the knockout blow.
Ready. Gain 4. Draw a card.
Tranquility's
Wow, I
pretty
finally draw
good.
Tranquility.
Oh, is
First
that
one
the
I think
first
he's seen all
Tranquility?
game.
Yes, that is the first Tranquility I've seen the
Okay.
entire game.
Yeah, that
Spell counters on the
wild.
Trixies.
16th card from the bottom. Spell counters.
Oh, yeah, spell counters.
That feels important right now.
Yeah, let's exhaust the one at home.
Yep. Gain the AT.
AT's plenty, but he's got to move.
I think the clock's just against him here. There's nothing you can do with 20 seconds left. Assuming the reason we're seeing the countdown and
So you
deliberation
have
is because
two
it's
Nova
going
Charms,
to come
but
up
you
against
can't
that
use
I
here.
have
them.
3 Nova Charms.
You
Yeah.
have 3 Nova Charms, but you can't use them.
I currently am unable to use them. It's really not fair.
Time.
Are you?
There it is.
Uh-huh. Okay. So
Is it called?
Yeah, I've called it.
I finished. Yeah, so I finished mine, and then Bugle finishes.
Oh, I thought we just did hard time. Okay,
It is just hard time, right?
understand.
So it is
I don't think it's possible for you to
consulting
score
the
more than
tournament floor rules. It is
No,
end
I
of
think you
match
just get it.
procedures.
Oh, it does go to end of match procedures.
Yeah.
If you want to play it out, I'll let you, but
No, I think.
If
think
I
that's
had
it.
said before that it is hard time, I sort of apologize for that.
It is. It is absolutely hard time because that's how I lost the game against Hithrock in the mill.
Well, that game didn't go to hard time.
No, it did. I conceded because of the time limit.
I see. Okay.
But that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Yeah, it was like Tom asked me for the rules on the hard time, which was when I actually went and looked at the tournament floor rules and saw that it was like tier 3 technically is it goes to tournament floor procedures or end of round procedures, end of match procedures.
Good to know. I may have been assuming it was hard time. You may have never actually stated that. So
I apologize if a false impression was given.
okay. Well, regardless, congratulations, Bugle, on making it to the lower bracket finals.
Yes, he is gonna face. Let me get the picture here.
Should be facing Hithrock, right?
Hithrock, that's right. Bugle versus Hithrock, and the winner faces Pancake.
Could we see Bugle versus Pancake to start and Bugle versus Pancake to end it?
Could be, yeah. And as
isn't-
oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say it's entirely possible.
I think also Bugle sort of made mention at the end of that match that Hithrock now has the only mill deck left in the tournament.
That is correct.
Is correct, yes.
Although I don't think the Izzy had much bearing on the mill matchup in that case. I think Cheese's opening hand was far more impactful than the Izzy shuffling 2 cards in.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, congratulations to Cheese on a strong showing, though, and congrats
Always.
to Bugle getting on. So we've got, 2 weeks left then?
Yes. Next week should be Bugle and Hithrock. We have already sort of figured out when they're going to be playing. And then week after that is the big grand final. Different format this year.
Right, we're doing the best 3 of 5, right?
Best 3 of 5, yeah. With an extra hour. We'll see. Sure hope that doesn't go to hard time, but we'll see.
It might. We'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out, yeah. But anyway, it's a bit late, given the match went to hard time and all. I appreciate so much you making the time to be here and watch games and talk about them with me.
Absolutely, of course. Always glad to be here.
And I appreciate everyone out on the chat as well for making time to be with us tonight. Yeah, as mentioned, next week, same time, lower final. Otherwise, until then, I've been Cursor Chords.
I'm Grand Pulse.
We will, have a good weekend, everyone.
Yes.